I started working here in 1972, and my original plan was only to work here for about 3 months till I got a job up north when the mining boom was on in the 70s. But my mother got me the job here, and I've stayed ever since. It was a bit different in those days. We didn't have the white body. We used to make the plates out of clay. It was a bit brown, and then they sprayed a white mixture called Ongo on it. And my mother was in that section there. I'd applied for a few jobs, but like I said, she got me a job here in the interim, and that's where I stayed. My job was actually to make the Ongo, but I had to supply my mother with while she was in her section while she was working. And then it was in the slip house in the actual clay preparation for the start of the making of the ware, the clay, the glaze and things like that in that section. 33 years, yes. I've looked after the decorating section and actually worked in but most sections of this factory, including dispatch for a little while, so I know what virtually goes on in nearly every section. I was only going to stay for 3 months, but then as things happened, I got tangled up with a woman, and we got together, and I needed to keep a job, so this was very stable at the time. The present management liked me and encouraged me to stay, so that's what I've done. I think it's actually the people themselves that keep people here. I've met some very good people over here, and working here with them, it's just been very good. Like I say, the management's been good. They look after the people who've been here a long time, and I've had some very good fun and made some very good friends in this factory. Obviously, this incident now has been a bit wearing. Knowing that it's probably, I've been a bit more privy to some of the workers, knowing that the end is nigh, and that was keeping the place going, and that's probably been the worst ever. One stage there was over 200 people here, and we had to sack, I think, 60 in one day. This is when we started to get a bit more automated, and that wasn't a very good time. People were a bit worried, but it's only the few times we're in the downturn in the economy that's a few people have gone. Because when I started here, there's over 200 people, and now we run the factory on probably 50, 55. You get a lot of different cultures. They like to bring you their food as well, which has always been a good thing. They look after you, the people, and I've got to eat quite a few things I probably never would have. Well, they think I'm going to move with the company. Well, I want to move. There's obviously being all my life in manufacturing and looking after things, it's be a bit different. So if they can find me a position, or I can, and I want that position, we'll keep moving on. I'd like to stay on. Even the present management and that I get on well with, and I enjoy myself and I enjoy working with them. There's been a community. That's what it was. It's like you said. There's so many different nationalities came. We worked together, and I think we produced a very good product. A lot of people in the early days used to come and see how we made it, especially in the decorating side of it, and they couldn't believe we turned out such a good product from what we've got. And the people put a lot of pride in what they do, and that's what I like people to remember, the pride that they put into it.
We're actually interested in people as individuals rather than people as workers, and that's been my policy for quite some time, rather than just be a person that works, that comes and works, and we go deeper than that. We my office is always open for them to share problems, not only work problems but also home problems, domestic problems. So it's more very intimate. It's not a stratified or formal type of organisation as you'd find in many other large manufacturing places. We're proud of that, and that's as I say, we're family rather than just a workforce. They're part of the whole structure of the place. The Italians, when I first came here, they were virtually, more or less integrated to the degree they were because they were looking for jobs that were more or less basic jobs type of thing. The language had a problem. They knew their English language, and of course, but limitedly, and they were looking for jobs. It was close. North Perth was the Italian enclave for so long. Subiaco was a perfect place for them to work, and this is where they were. There was a majority there for quite a while. I believe their Christmas parties, not that I experienced one, but I believe their Christmas parties had a terrific ethnic background. Italians would sing from their regions and of that nature. Yes, it was good. Then they moved out. I think they grew older or had enough of work, and a wave came in. The Macedonian community came in, and they Well, they took over for a while. It was predominantly Macedonian, with a few Italians left and no ethnic fights. And they took over for quite a few years, and then they moved out, and then we had the Vietnamese people. I think they were the ones that would find it hard at language, culture. But I will say this: they were the more meticulous people, the more productive people. I think the little finer details, they knew how to do that better. They more nimble of finger than that. But I picked Australian Fine China because I'm of an ethnic background too. So I thought, oh well, I can at least understand them better. And I came here, and again I thought just to help out. And then it was time to go back, and I thought, no, I don't want to go back. I would like to think of it as a place where the individual was is important and looked after as an individual rather than a payroll number or employee number. I'm changing career course. I'm becoming a Roman Catholic deacon, as one does in retirement, you know. So next time you see me, you might see me in a Roman collar type of thing. So.
Well, obviously, the biggest single change will be a decline in the volume of production in our factory, while we've actually grown our business, and that's because we've imported product from overseas to compete with that flood of cheap products coming in. But then on top of that, we've seen great growth in our export markets, and we're now, for example, selling 3 times as much product this year into export markets than we did just 2 years ago. Globalization is causing all factories and manufacturers around the world to sell to global markets, and they have to manufacture in global conditions. We can't do that in Australia for a variety of reasons. And I'm sorry, because it is the end of the road for them in terms of their association with the company. But I hope they will take comfort and recognise that they were a major part in developing who we are. Nothing stays the same.